Nottoway Valley OM3 state qualifiers for state wrestling. Pretty exciting. Elliott Cooney, Jackson Christensen, and Kalen DeVault. Go in order here of weight. 132. We had Elliott Cooney talk about close finals match there. You were able to pull it out. Just talk about pulling that match out and what it kind of took to finish that off.
Yeah, it was a close match. I had wrestled the kid twice already, so I knew he'd come at me hard and know what I do. So I just had to wrestle a tough match and grind it out, and that's what I did.
How's it feel to be a four-time state qualifier?
It feels great, and it feels even better to have these guys along my side.
Yeah, 3 seniors. What's that mean to, not only you, but just the program? You got a cousin with you here, but talk about all that.
It's awesome because it just shows that our program is growing, and it just it's hopeful for the next generations that come up. Next year with all the people we sent to districts, everyone else is coming back, and it's just great to have that hopefulness that this program's growing.
Very good. Anything to say about state? Just the game plan going into that. You've done it before.
We'll just get our minds right, clear our heads, and focus this week going up, and then we'll get up there and we'll just wrestle our matches, take it one match at a time.
Very good. Thanks a lot. Going to Jackson Christensen, 138. Finished runner-up today. Talk about just that. And, you got a pin there, I think, in the, was it your...
The first round match?
First round, yeah. Talk about that and just kind of how that happened.
I had him a couple weeks ago at ACGC, and I caught him and pinned him, but it was a lot better match today. I got a takedown on him, turned him, and pinned him, so, yeah.
Talk about your finals match there and just kind of what happened there.
I've already wrestled him, too. It's a tough loss. I wanted to win it, but he beat me to it. So.
What's it like when you wrestle these kids over and over? It's kind of bound to happen this time of year when you have 2 sectionals coming into a district. But how does the approach change throughout the match or things like that?
We try to watch as much film as possible, critique everything we can against those guys we've already wrestled, because we know what they're going to do, and we try to critique it and correct it and then try to overcome it. So.
Cool. 3 seniors going. I guess all that you kind of the same thing. What's that mean to you to have 3 seniors going?
It shows that all the hard work we've done this year is paying off. So.
Very good. Thanks a lot, Jackson.
Thank you.
Kalen DeVault, 182. You had to wrestle back, but you got her done pretty quickly there. Talk about that and just kind of having to battle back there, and you got her done.
Yeah, going in, I knew that my first match, the kid was a pretty decent kid, but it was more of like warm-up match, get the blood flowing and get ready for my finals match. And I knew that was going to be a tough match. And he was a high-ranked kid. I went in there. He's a really strong defensive wrestler, so I went in there and tried to do what I could. Fell short, but then I knew I had to turn around and get my mind and body right for that wrestle back. And I'd wrestled him a couple times in the year before that, including at sectionals, and I knew he was a strong kid, so then I knew that I had to stay out of the upper body throwing match. I had to use my angles and outside sweeps and stuff like that, which is what I did, and I rode him tough on top and ended up coming out on top.
Pretty exciting for you. I think you said earlier in the year you kind of battled some injuries last year, so that's pretty satisfying to be at this point as a senior.
Yeah, it means everything. Missing out on sectionals the last couple of years, I've just been hungry to get out there in the postseason, and coming back this year and wrestling the best I can with the people, the boys that I love. It couldn't be any better. So I'm excited for state next week and the future of the program.
Very good. Class 1A wrestles on Thursday night, and it's 6 o'clock start, and then gets earlier in the day as we go on. So I think quarterfinals are earlier on Friday, and hopefully we get a couple wrestling on Saturday too. So sure. Thanks a lot, guys. All right, well, we're here at the Greenfield Lions Club Youth Tournament, catching up from Saturday's action with co-head coach Brad Honnold for Nottoway Valley OM Wrestling. District tournament yesterday, Coach, over in Pleasantville. Heck of an effort by your boys. What did you can you kind of sum up the feeling, I guess, first of all, getting 3 kids to state?
Yeah, anytime this time of year, you've got an array of emotions. You've got the highs and the joy that you have with the celebrating the 3 kids that went on, and you feel the pain from the 4 kids that didn't. They all wrestled just truly phenomenally. I felt every one of our 7 kids went out and left everything out on the mat. You know, and unfortunately, some things just don't fall your way, and we had some tough bouts, and you feel the pain of those kids, but you know, we put that aside and kind of grieved with them, I guess, and then we are just celebrating the three that are going on, and you know, setting new goals for when we're in Des Moines.
Let's start out, I guess, and run down the three that are going. So let's start with Elliot. I guess he wins the tournament yesterday, not without a challenge. I mean, you know, it's tough at this point in the year. So you can kind of talk about his effort to get that out.
Yep. Well, Elliot's first match, you know, the kid came out and kind of, I think, was trying to get under his skin a little bit, and he kept his composure, took care of business, stayed good technique, and then we had the Lundy kid for the third week in a row, who you know, depends on where you look, but number 4, number 5 ranked kid in the state, and it was a heck of a match, you know, and I've really preached to Elliot this week. Coach Byron and I have, you know, stay good technique, don't wrestle his match, wrestle our match, you know, and we kind of got into a little scrambles, and at times in that match we kind of wrestled Lundy's match, but you know, finally settled down, and when we did, you know, he took care of business and got the fall, and you know, he was the district champ. So
Jackson finishes as runner-up. Seemed like a good day for him. What stood out to you from his day?
Well, we knew that first match against the Panorama kid was going to be a big one. We scouted the heck out of that match. We'd wrestled that kid earlier in the year, knew what we had to do. Jackson went out and executed it to a T. You know, and when Jackson's on top, he's pretty darn tough, and that's what he did. He turned the kid and got the pin in the first one, and that's what we needed. Met up with a tough Steinloggy kid from I-35 in the finals, but and we knew that was going to be tough, but, you know, we're moving on.
Kalen really, you know, had to battle back there, got a wrestle back for 2 seconds and fought through that, got that, and is on the state. 3 seniors, I guess, you know, just overall kind of 3 seniors is what I think. So what do you think of Kalen, though, in his day?
You know, I think Kalen and we were a little surprised at how tough the Sampson kid was in the finals. You know, Kalen came in the first match, and we took care of business like we knew we needed to. I thought we had a pretty good game plan for the Sampson kid, and I take a little ownership on that one, to be honest with you. Not watching enough film to really get us prepared. We knew we had to get to angles, and we didn't. That kid was a very good counter wrestler and defensive wrestler, and there's a reason that he's a returning state place winner, to be honest with you. And it's tough to come back and wrestle that true second wrestle back, but thank goodness Kalen's a really motivated and dedicated and focused kid, and he just did what he does and took care of business and got that you know, met that goal of getting to state. So super proud.
Talk about, and we'll talk about the others in a sec, but talk about just the leadership. You know, 3 seniors, that just is something that just sticks out to me. You know, 3 seniors are going, that's a pretty cool deal. These kids, I'm sure, have been wrestling forever together. So what's that say just about the leadership of your program right now?
Well, you know, when I came here, and I've said it all year long, we've had 4 seniors that have wrestled since they were probably 5, 6 years old. I've seen the little squirts running around when I was officiating, and you know, before I ever even came to Nottoway Valley, and they were tough little squirts, and you know, no doubt that they have led the way, not just mentally or not just physically, you know, with their technique in the room, but mentally, just, you know, taking the other kids under their wing and being leaders. And you know, I wish we could have got all 4. I'm not gonna lie, you know, I did shed a tear or two with Jevin, because he's worked his tail off, but you know, those 3 have set the bar just like we wanted to at the beginning of the year. Nottoway Valley Wrestling is alive, and it's because of those guys. So
Jevin, great season. What else can you say just about what marked his season and what kind of made him, you know, he had a great year, a lot of wins. I don't know off the top of my head how many, but talk about his season a little more there.
Well, number one, I want to say this. Jevin's season's not done, because Jevin's a big part of what those other 3 are going to do for the next week, and he knows that, and he's committed to that, and that's just what you do when you're family, and they're literally family and figuratively family, you know what I mean? But yeah, Jevin's really, I mean, I wish we would have started what we've done the last 3 weeks 2 months earlier, and I tell you what, that kid would be competing for a top notch at the state tournament. He really turned it on the last part of the year, and what you would expect out of a kid that's a senior and really motivated. We had a tough bracket and fell a little short.
The other 3 that aren't moving on, man, the future is certainly bright for this program. You got a sophomore in there and 2 freshmen. So talk about those guys and just, man, what motivation going forward for them.
You hit the nail on the head. 2 freshmen and a sophomore, and while we're losing some very big, we've got some very big shoes to fill with those 4 seniors. We got some young kids, and the last week I've had the junior high kids in the room with the high school kids, and Coach Christensen's had them in there. And I'm telling you what, don't sleep on Nottoway Valley for a few years, because those young kids are going to be coming up. Trent Warner, Eli Harris, Bradley Gabby, and even the ones that didn't qualify for districts. And then we got a couple 8th graders coming up. And tell you what, people will know Nottoway Valley Wrestling if they don't already.
All right, very good. Again, the state tournament starts Thursday night for Class 1A teams, so we'll be watching how those 3 for Nottoway Valley OM are doing. Thanks a lot, Brad.
Thank you, Caleb. Appreciate it.